YouTube is the most underutilized client acquisition channel for coaches, agency owners, and consultants right now. And the thing that's going to make client acquisition happen has nothing to do with some fancy editing hack or some magic algorithm trick that's going to suddenly flood your calendar with calls. As much as I would like to sit here and say that, and trust me, it would make what I do a lot easier, that's just not the reality. The reality is, to get clients from YouTube in 2025, you need to have some fundamentals in place in which most coaches and agency owners that we talk to just don't have. They're publishing videos and getting zero leads, and they're spending hours filming this content that's just getting buried by the algorithm. But don't worry, I've spent literally thousands of dollars to work with the top content agencies in the space so that you don't have to. All the information you need is right here in this video and on my channel. And I've also closed multiple high ticket deals for my own channel, so trust me, I know what I'm talking about. And in this video, I'm gonna take you through those fundamentals, plus every piece of advice that I know. So by the end of this video, you have everything you need to turn YouTube into your most reliable source of client acquisition. Okay, let's discuss what most businesses get wrong about their content strategy. So they create very broad content that doesn't speak to a specific avatar, which leads to getting thousands of views, but zero new leads. And you should know, if you get a video that's like over 10,000 views and you get no new leads from it, that something's not totally right. And let's talk about why that might happen. So let's look at the first example here. So say you're an agency owner and you create a video titled "How to Run Facebook Ads." This is going to attract a ton of do-it-yourselfers who might appreciate your content. They might even like the video, they might even subscribe to your channel, but they don't actually want to hire you. And we'll speak about the psychology behind that in just a moment here, but you're speaking to a very broad audience. YouTube has like over 2 billion monthly users. 51% of them come to the platform to get educated. So you could be speaking to millions of people who are interested in Facebook ads, but don't necessarily want to work with you, or you might not necessarily even want to work with them. They don't fit your ICP, your ideal client profile. But let's take a look at the next example here of video 2. Now, this all has to do with the positioning of your packaging. So if you title that same video, "Why Your Agency's Facebook Ads Aren't Scaling Past $10,000 a Month," this is attracting people who are looking for a specific problem to solve. And it's also speaking to a very niche audience of agency owners. So you have agency in the name. So say it's some random cat lady who's looking to run ads for yarn she's making. She's not an agency owner, but she still might watch your video on how to run Facebook ads. Doesn't want to work with you. But now that you have agency's Facebook ads in the title, she's probably not going to click that video. But you know who is going to click that video? Other agencies who are struggling to scale past $10,000 a month. And when you shift your content to target the right viewers, those who have the pain, problem, and budget to hire you, your conversions will skyrocket. And you can even change this to something like, 20K per month if you want your ICP to be at a certain price point. So we really want to avoid getting too broad. We want to get very targeted on who we're making content for. Now let's look at the actual client attracting video structure. So every client generating video needs these elements, and that's a hook that speaks directly to your ideal client's pain or desires, validation of their experience, a surprising insight that challenges their current thinking, actionable value they can implement immediately, a limitation they'll face trying to implement it alone, and a seamless bridge to your offer. Now, really quick, let's reiterate, you do not want to create content that is too technical, too broad, and fails to position yourself as the authority or solution. So like I mentioned above here of why they might appreciate your content but don't actually want to hire you, is because I see all the time people just hop on like a Loom video and just hop in the Facebook ads campaign and show step-by-step how to do something. So they're not positioning themselves as an authority or the solution. They're just giving the solution away and saying, all right, cheers, peace. So they gave them the information. They don't necessarily want to hire you. They got what they needed. And the person creating that video did a bad job of positioning themselves as the solution. All right, now these first 3 elements can be implemented in the hook that you create for your video. So speaking to their pains or desires, validating their experience, and a surprising insight that challenges their current thinking. Let's talk about how you can implement this. So the keys to writing an effective hook is, for one, relating to the viewer. So when I first started my agency, I had no experience or portfolio. That's speaking to their pain and validating their experience. Next, you want to establish credibility. In just 30 days, I made $5,000 as a complete beginner. So again, validating their experience and speaking to their desires. Next, set expectations. I'll show you how to land your first client step by step. This is one, validating the click. So this is for one, validating the click on the video. So letting them know you're not lying to them. They're actually going to get this information from the video. And it's also appealing to their desires of wanting to get their first client. And then creating intrigue. Stick around to see how I achieved X outcome from working just 3 to 4 hours per day. This is a surprising insight that challenges their current thinking, because they might think you need to achieve X outcome by working 16-hour days, but you're doing it in just 3 to before. All right, now let's talk about implementing the next three elements here. So actionable value they can implement immediately. This is where in your body, you actually want to give out free knowledge, free sauce. And then after you give out that knowledge, that's when you want to call out a limitation they'll face trying to implement it alone. So you can do this by saying, hey, now that you have all of this information, it still does take a lot of time and a lot of trial and error to make sure it fits you specifically. And then that's when you have a seamless bridge to your offer. So right after you mention the limitation they'll face alone, that's when you can say, or you can just bypass that and work with me, and I guarantee it'll work from you because we're experts. It's seamless. It's a natural step of progression to your offer that doesn't feel too salesy. And these are all really essential. And that's why you really can't be too technical, because all you're doing is giving actionable value that they can implement immediately, but you're not doing the rest. You're not setting a limitation they'll face implementing it alone, and you're not giving a seamless bridge to your offer. So when you only give this, they might appreciate your content, right? You might get some subscribers, you might get some likes, but you won't get any new leads or clients. Okay, now let's talk about seeding offers without being salesy. So what most people get wrong, most business owners, is either they never mention their services or they do awkward pitches that feel disconnected from their content. So for example, you create a great piece of content but didn't mention your service until an abrupt book a call at the end. And your conversion rate will be very low when we factor in how many views you're getting. Because remember, when we're doing ultra targeted content, you're not getting hundreds of thousands of views. You're getting maybe a few hundred to 1,000 per video. And the fact is, it's very unlikely all of your videos will have an average view duration of 100%, meaning all of those viewers aren't going to watch until the very end when you finally do your call to action to book a call, which is going to make your conversion rate really low. But when you do this correctly, viewers actually want to hear about your offer because it feels like the natural next step. So how you can do this properly is throughout your content, you want to plant seeds. So you can say things like, this is exactly what we help our clients implement in their first week of working with us. One of our clients struggled with this exact issue until we helped them. And if you want help yourself, you can click the link in my description, book a call with me, and we'll see how we can help you. These are naturally planting seeds throughout your content. Another one, there's a detailed process to this that we walk all of our clients through, but the quick version is bang. And I really hate when people feel scared to pitch their offer throughout their content, is because we don't want to hide the fact that we have something to sell. Yes, we're here to give information, give out knowledge, but we're also here to sell our service to people who need it because we know our service works. So don't be afraid to let people know you have something to sell them throughout their content. You're actually going to come off more like sketchy when you try and hide it and then like randomly at the end, pitch them something. Let them know like, hey, I have this service. It could probably help you with what you're going through. And if you're interested, book a call with me. We'll help you out even more. But here's some free information for you to try and help you on your own as well. That's going to work a lot better for you. Just like this. Watch this. What's not talked about in this video is editing footage. You need to have some basic understanding of how to do cuts, whether it's in CapCut or Premiere, whatever you use to make sure all the ums and ahs are gone or whatever mistakes you have in your content. You need to have an understanding of how to use Canva or Photoshop for your thumbnails. And you need to be consistent, right? People need to see your face for this to work. You can't just post a video a month and expect to see results from it. And I have more videos on my channel detailing how to do this. So if you need any help with editing, packaging, etc., watch these videos on my channel. But it still does take a lot of time. So if you want me to handle all of the heavy lifting for you, that way all you have to do is record for like an hour a week and still be successful on YouTube without having to barely lift a finger, you can schedule a call with me in the description below, and we can see if we're a good fit together to help push you towards your goals. Okay, now let's talk about YouTube SEO that actually matters. So most people obsess over keywords, but they ignore search intent and client qualifications. Let me show you a quick example of this. So if you're a marketing agency and you're targeting social media marketing tips, that's going to get over 200,000 searches. Remember, that's going to be really broad. But if you change that to how to outsource social media marketing for professional services, that's going to get about 2,000 searches, and it might even triple your leads because we're getting very targeted on who we want to see our content. And what getting this right unlocks is lower competition, higher conversion rates, and clients who already want exactly what you offer. So here's how to make those changes. So focus on long tail keywords that indicate buying intent, create content addressing specific client problems, not general topics, and use customer language in your titles, not industry jargon. And here's how to create a click-worthy title. So you want to use up to 70 characters. Google usually truncates longer titles in search results. Blend intrigue with description. So for example, how I landed $10,000 clients using YouTube step by step. And you want to front load your keywords keywords for SEO. So for example, high ticket sales strategy at the front, and ensure the title aligns with the video's content to avoid misleading your viewers. And the words in the title should be different from the words in the thumbnail. And here's a little pro tip here for you. So match your video file name and thumbnail title and thumbnail file name to the title. So for example, high ticket sales strategy.mp4, high ticket sales strategy.png. This is just going to help your SEO, doesn't hurt you, can only help you. So you might as well give it a try. All right. And next we're going to talk about converting your viewers to leads. So you can't expect CTAs like subscribe or book a call to work without building enough value or creating a compelling reason first. When you provide actionable value before your CTA, you're actually building a system that consistently turns viewers into qualified leads who already see your value. And that's exactly why CTAs aren't in your hook, right? You need to give people a reason to do what you're saying. And the best way to do this is create a value-packed lead magnet specifically addressing the point in your video. And this works best for like middle of funnel videos. So that's going to be like step-by-step tutorials, how-to videos, just general education videos. And you can use a clear CTA that promises additional value. So if you're making a video on Facebook ads, right, you can CTA to get the complete client acquisition blueprint I mentioned in this video. And that's going to nurture leads with targeted content before asking for the call. So when you're doing your middle of funnel videos, it's typically best to CTA to a lead magnet because people are going to spend more time with you. They're going to build more trust by taking in more of your content, especially if your lead magnets are good and truly value packed. They'll get something out of it. They'll know you're an expert, and then they'll go into booking a call with you. So that's for middle of funnel content. Now, if you're doing something like a case study video or a client interview video or a podcast with a client, then you can do direct straight to book a call, because what those videos are doing is it's showing proof that the solutions you give away in your middle of funnel videos actually work. So you don't really need to give them more value because they see firsthand that it works. And that's enough for them just to go directly to book a call because they want that dream outcome for themselves as well. So that's everything I have on using YouTube to get more clients. There's a lot to unpack here, but I'm sure if you take any of the content strategies I've mentioned in this video, you can start seeing growth in as little as 30 days. But here's the thing, you really only have two options right now. You can take everything I've shared here and implement it yourself. That means learning video editing, figuring out the right content strategy, creating systems so that you're publishing consistently, and testing what works for your specific business. And that's great if you have time. Or second, you can work with experts who have already cracked the code for businesses just like yours. At the Content Bosses, we help coaches, consultants, and agency owners just like you generate 10 or more qualified leads with our done-for-you YouTube content system. You literally just show up for a few hours every month, and we handle everything else from strategy to scripting to editing and optimization. So if you're interested in working with us to turn YouTube into your most reliable client acquisition system, then click the first link in my description to book a call with me, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.